So I've been drawing a ton lately and realize I've collected a lot of markers, and some of them I purchased off of Amazon and others I bought from Hobby Lobby and Walmart. So today I am going to be testing them all out and seeing which one is actually fun to use. The Copic Ciao are made in Japan. This cost me $80 on Amazon for 36 colors. That's $2.20 per marker. I'm new to alcohol markers, and the Ciao markers are my most expensive set. They are the cheaper option of the premium option, if that makes sense. There is a similar budget option called the Ohuhu markers I'd like to try. The brush tip is very smooth for the Ciao markers. It colors and blends beautifully, and the ink is vibrant. I often use a white blending Ciao marker and blend the colors that way. However, I lost my marker, so I cannot show it to you today. The Graphix Aquapen is made by a German company, Marabou. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have the right paper for it, so take my review with a grain of salt. It was $18 for 12 of them, so it was $1.50 per marker. You can see that on my paper it was tearing the paper and made it impossible for me to use. I have used these on a glossier surface before, and also a more sturdy surface. I did record another clip of using it on the Bristol trading card surface with a smooth finish. You can see that the marker does a lot, but I actually ran into the same problem. So I don't think I can really use these in the end, and I should probably just give them away. Here you can see me using it on a different surface, and you can see that eventually the same problem happened. The Master's Touch markers from Hobby Lobby were also alcohol markers like the Copic Ciao. However, these were $22 for 6 pens. That's the most expensive. That's $3.80 per marker, which is a huge ripoff. The Copic markers, which are premium and made in Japan, were a bit over $2. By the way, I bought them in the store, so they didn't need to be shipped direct to consumer. Also, the color selection was quite limited, as you only get 6 of them. I'm actually shocked that Hobby Lobby would sell this. Also, it was the only item that had a danger warning on both the front and the back of the package. The pen itself also had a danger warning. They colored almost identically to the Copic Ciao markers, so I really didn't see the point, but if I'm missing something, just let me know. So you can see on the left side here that I'm comparing the Copic Ciao, and I like the blending better of the Copics. On the right, I also do a comparison of the Graphix we discussed earlier. In my opinion, the left one, which is the Copic, blended the best and the ink spread out more evenly, but you can be the judge. Now on to the Papermate markers. I got these from Walmart and they were $20 for 24, which is 83 cents a marker. It's a bit unfair to compare these with the brush strokes of the other markers. However, I did appreciate the texturing of these. They reminded me of colored pencils, and they added a super nice and beautiful dimension while coloring that I didn't see from the alcohol markers. I also use these quite frequently in the beginning for dotting my colors in with the fine tip, which is another great use for them. Overall, I would say these might be my favorite if it wasn't for the Copic markers. So we'll have to see which one wins out in the end. I did one more blending test to be objective. You can see the Copic and Master's Touch markers are almost identical, with the Copic barely being better, but also it's almost half the cost. I will probably never buy this brand ever again, to be honest. Even though the Graphix marker did okay, I couldn't find a use for it when I have the Copic. Also, I will definitely be keeping the Papermate markers because I find the texture to be absolutely gorgeous. So in this review, I would say that the Copic marker came out on top, with the Papermate being a close second when you consider texture and price. I have no use for the Master's Touch or the Graphix marker, which is interesting when you think about it because I bought both of them from Hobby Lobby. So this is the end of my review. Let me know what you think and what you'd like to see next. See ya!